my wish is that maybe the new medicine, you know, it'll kick Neil into remission soon. Nobody knows how soon, though, huh?
No. You sure Christina's okay?
Yeah, she looked comfortable. You had her wrapped up like a little China doll.
I just thought she might be a little sore. That was a big needle.
You know who I think has suffered the most pain through all of this? Is you.
You're right. So what I'm thinking is, you know, Christina's asleep. Serena's in school. I was thinking...
We should get to work. We've got to...
No, I wasn't thinking that at all. I was thinking something completely different, Lucy.
I think that sounds like a really swell idea. But first...
What?
The mail. We have not.
No,
we
not
have
the
not
mail,
even
the
sorted
mail.
through the mail since we were at the hospital. It's been...
Are you expecting something? Have you been using that 1-800 number? Have you been...
Sort of. I've been waiting for this. It's a letter from Reverend Campbell.
Oh, wait a second. I thought you decided that we were going to wait on this.
Well, I did, but he'll do it, and I'm done waiting.
That's what I should have figured.
Oh, come on, pal. This has been a long time coming. We've been talking and talking about it, and now that the adoption's final and the bone marrow thingy is all done, why wait any longer? Let's just do it.
Are you sure that's the real reason here?
All right, you got me. Watching Neil fight for his life and struggle every day has just reminded me how precious and special every single day is for us and how unexpected things can happen. I have Neil's latest blood work. And? His mature white blood cell count is up 3%, and his blasts are down 3.
That's good.
Any improvement is good.
3% from almost nothing is still almost nothing.
I don't think Neil's seen the full benefit of the silestine yet.
He is so weak already. Maybe Joe's right. We need to do the bone marrow transplant now.
It was hard enough deciding to keep Neil on this new drug. If we start second-guessing ourselves now, we'll go crazy.
And if the medicine works, he'll be in remission, and we could prep him to accept the new marrow. There are no guarantees, but Neil's entire medical team agrees with keeping him on the drug. The lab shows some bone marrow suppression, but we'll continue to monitor him closely. If the drug isn't working, we'll change the course of treatment immediately.
So, for now, we just stick with what we're doing.
We believe it's a smart thing to do. I need to scrub for surgery.
What if Neil needs you?
Well, I'll be assisting a laparoscopy. If Neil needs me, they'll pull me right out.
I hope we're doing the right thing.
We are. Okay, now come on, let me buy you breakfast.
You know, what I really need is, to shower and change my clothes.
Well, all right, let's do that.
I don't feel comfortable leaving the hospital, Frank.
Look, it's not going to do Neil any good to see you all tired and dragged out. Besides, you deserve a break.
Okay, but let's just let them know where we're going, all right?
All right.
She's prepping for surgery. Okay. No message. What about Neil's parents? Okay, they left. For how long? They'll be back in an hour? Okay, thank you. No, I'll try to reach them later. Yeah. Thanks.
Hey, Joe.
Hi.
I was just getting ready to give him his chemo.
Well, actually, there's been a change of plans. We're terminating Neil's involvement in the clinical trial.
Really?
Yes. I'll take over from here.
Okay. God knows I've got enough patience.
See you. Thanks. I didn't give you your life. But I'm gonna save it.
set. We are booked at Reverend Campbell's church for next Friday.
You know, we could always do it at the Veterans Lodge. I spoke to Alvin, and that cannon is working.
I don't think so. I don't care if the cannon's working. Come on, that's where we almost lost Christina. It's definitely bad karma.
And then what about down at the dock? So we stick to our original plan. We go down to Kevin's pond there, and we dunk her like the donut.
We are not going to dunk our baby girl in a pond in the water outside in February.
Well, now, wait a second. They have gas heaters.
No. This church is going to be absolutely perfect.
But I thought you didn't want to do the whole formal church thing.
I don't want it to be completely traditional, but now that I've really thought about it, I can't think of a better place than the church, you know, with our family and friends all gathered around, loving Christina and naming her. This is good. And I asked Reverend Campbell if it was okay for us to personalize it, and he said yes.
Is he out of his mind? Does he know what he's getting himself into?
I will not do anything outrageous, at least not too outrageous.
Okay, well, if he wants to go that way, I'll go that. Book it.
Okay, it's booked. It's booked. Okay, now listen, I had a list somewhere here that Aunt Charlene's Dawn helped me come up with before the hospital business. I have no idea where it is, so we'll start from scratch, huh?
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Hardly wait.
I know. All right, now we need a caterer and florist, of course. Now, florist, I was thinking lilies of the valley because I love those flowers, but, you know, I don't think we're going to be able to get them in February. And then, of course, we need maybe a music director, color scheme. You know what I was thinking? I want lush colors. Why does it have to be white, the babies wear? I mean, purity and all that, but couldn't a baby wear some other kind of color? It doesn't have to be white, does it? Does it have to be?
Well, now, what about a Ranger jersey, right? And then right after the ceremony, we shoot back here for the game.
Little buffalo wings? No, you're going to get fired from the planning committee if you keep that up.
No, don't. Please don't fire me. I want to see this. I want to watch you do these things here.
Look at us. We have just about everything, don't we? We have everything we've wanted.
Well, I know I do. Now, listen.
Okay.
I'm getting a little hungry. Not that I don't want to be a part of this. I think I want to make myself a roast beef sandwich.
Okay, make me one, too.
Okay.
Wait. Oh, my goodness. We have forgotten the most important part of this whole thing. We have got to figure out who we want Christina's godparents to be.
Yeah. Now that Joe and Karen are out of the picture here, it's...
Yeah, that idea. No, I just think it'd be a little awkward for Joe and Karen to stand up at the ceremony together, you know, with all the problems they're having.
Yes, but I still want Karen to be the girl's legal guardian.
Of course. Christina has enough guardians, though. You know what she really needs? She needs, like, a shaman.
A what?
You know, a wise person of the tribe. You know, an elder that helps out with things like answers problems she has, talks to her, figures her out. You know, someone who's good with kids.
Right. Someone with a good head on their shoulders, you know, that's got common sense, that's going to fight for what she believes in.
Oh, and you know, it's got to be somebody who's really calm at the center of a crisis. You know, because when she's a teenager, she's going to take after me because she's my girl, you know, that there could be lots of problems hitting this person, you know, and they need to remain calm and take care of it for her.
I just came up with someone.
That quick? Okay, who?
Well, you're going to think it would not be my first choice, but I'm thinking Kevin.
This is Dr. Scanland. I was just paged. It's ready. Good. I want you to send the bone marrow up to Peds ICU, room 3, as soon as possible, okay? Thank you.
You think Kevin should be Christina's godfather?
For a number of reasons. First of all, you know, one, he's really smart. B, he's good with children. 3, he protects his family.
Yeah, he's all that. He's all that. And he and I, we have a past. So don't you think it'd be a little bit weird if he was Christina's godfather?
Oh, hell no. That was a long time ago, Lucy. I mean, Kevin and I have been in a lot of situations, life and death situations here, you know, and I just think that, he's the guy.
Well, I have to admit he has come through for us a lot in the past, you know, but you and Kevin, you don't exactly see eye to eye on everything.
Oh, you mean because of the Julie situation? Well, you know, I admire his perseverance here, you know. He's like a pit bull, you know, when he gets something in his mouth, he just won't let go.
Yeah, exactly like you. Yeah. Even though it's not sometimes the most popular opinion.
Well, that's how I want my girls raised. I want generals, not foot soldiers.
And I, sort of told you lately how I absolutely, utterly adore you.
No, not recently. But it's mutual, you know that? So, now that we're done with all of this, I think we should just...
Whoa. No,
what?
We shouldn't just... We just have one more thing we need to decide, okay? Come on. All right. What do you think I should wear to the christening?
Well, we don't have to discuss that right now, do we?
Yes, we do. This is my baby girl, my daughter's christening. I want everything to be absolutely perfect.
Well, I'm sure whatever you wear will be tight, skimpy, colorful. You'll look beautiful.
Well, no, wait. See, that's not exactly what I want to go for, you know? I mean, I don't want to look beautiful.
Well, we'll have our crosses to bear. That's yours. You'll just look beautiful.
Stop. I want to look nice. I want to look pretty, but what I want to look most of all, I want to look like a really great mom.
You mean like a TV mom, like, say, Beaver Cleaver's mom, June Cleaver?
No.
Like that?
No.
You know,
Would you stop? You are not helping here. We need to go upstairs right now.
I thought you'd never get to
No,
that.
Denise said he's still asleep. Frank, I really don't feel comfortable being away from Neil for so long.
Oh, come on, let's eat something.
Order whatever you want. I'm going back to Neil's room.
Hey, I am not worried about me. I have eaten in the last 36 hours. What good are you going to be passed out from hunger and exhaustion?
But, Frank, I'm not hungry,
Sit.
and I...
Come on. Karen told us Neil needs a lot of rest right now. There's nothing we can do. Besides, Denise will page us if he wakes up.
Well, maybe he's sleeping so much because the new drug's kicking in.
Yeah, we'll know soon.
You know, it's kind of funny when you're a single mom, you find yourself praying your kid will go to bed just so you can get some peace. Now, I don't know if I really like it when he's asleep.
Order.
I'm not hungry.
You really need to try to eat something, Courtney.
Hello for you today, folks.
Well, how about a couple of cheeseburgers and 2 large vanilla shakes?
Coming right up.
All right, thanks.
Hey, aren't you Neil's mom?
Yeah, I am.
Sweet kid. I always used to sneak him some extra fruit when he'd come by for his slushies.
Oh, that's nice.
I was really sorry to hear about him.
She acts like he's already gone.
I don't think she meant it that way.
That's exactly how she meant it, Frank. Like she knows something that we don't. And maybe they all do. Maybe what they're all saying is he's as good as dead.
Stop it, Courtney.
No, we have to face it. Because if they're right, it's our fault. For keeping him on that medicine instead of taking Joe's advice.
They are not right. Anyone who's given up on Neil is a fool. They don't know him. We do. We know who he is and what he needs better than anyone, including Joe.
Dr. Smith, 5017. Dr. Don Smith, 5017.
Sleep tight, Slugger. I'm gonna make you all better.
That one says that girl's got a pair of gams.
Oh, that's great. And this one is totally wrong.
No, wait a second, Lucy. Nothing's wrong. These are fine. They look good.
No, they're not fine. They don't look good. They don't look right. Because what I'm going for here is I just truly want to look like a great mom.
Define great mom, because I don't know what that is exactly.
Okay. For example, Gail. Gail is a great mom. You know Gail. She always looks so organized. She could be running this big meeting at the hospital, but you know that she has something yummy simmering in the crock pot at home. Or take Aunt Charlene, even at her most outrageous, if you needed her, she could pull out a butterscotch, or maybe even a Band-Aid to help your little Bobo.
Well, now, you could always wear that.
That, you mean this?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, don't you think it's a little skimpy for February?
It might be a little skimpy for church, but you know what I say, the skimpier the better.
You do say that, but this is not exactly what I had in mind.
All right, now listen. All right, now just listen to me for a second there, pal. It doesn't matter what dress you wear, what hat you put on, what little necklace you pull out of the closet,
I know,
The important thing is how you hold your child.
What?
Now, when you feed her and you sing little songs to her and you check on her 10 times a day to make sure the temperature is right in the room, those are the things.
Well, it's just I have never in my whole life wanted so much to just do something right.
Well, you are doing this right. You really are. So it doesn't matter what color dress you wear. Because you already are the perfect mother.
Okay, tell me something else.
About me?
No, about him. Tell me something I wouldn't know.
Okay, when Neil was, about 5, he wanted to be a fireman and an ice cream man.
That is exactly what I wanted to be when I was 5, only I couldn't figure out how to put out the fires and keep the ice cream from melting. All right, okay, so how long did he keep up that plan?
Oh, I guess about a year, and then he announced he wanted to be a mutant Ninja Turtle.
Good choice.
No, not really, because all Ninja Turtles eat is pizza. So for months, all Neil would eat is pizza. We got in a lot of fights about it, actually.
And I bet Neil won.
He even came up with this joke about this horrible, horrible mother who wouldn't let her perfect little son eat pizza.
Oh, do I dare ask how it goes?
No, you don't. I'd mess it up. Really, you should ask Neil.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I will wait, and I will get it straight from the man himself.
Thanks.
Hey, Karen.
Hey, Noah. What brings you to the 10th floor? Things a little slow down in the lab?
I was wondering how the transplant went.
I was assisting a laparoscopy, not a transplant.
Then why did Joe have me bring up the Baldwin baby's bone marrow?
What? God, what have you done?
I saved his life.
Hi, Courtney.
Dr. Courtney.
Frank, how you two holding up?
We're okay.
Some days are better than others.
Isn't that the truth? So, have you seen Neil yet?
We're on our way.
Why, did something happen?
No. I didn't mean to alarm you. No, last I heard, he's stable.
Did you speak to his oncologist?
I'm actually going to meet him now.
I wonder if he still thinks we made the right decision.
Waiting for the experimental drug to reduce Neil's blast cells is something that the entire staff is behind.
Except Joe.
Joe, as you know, is no longer on this case.
Yeah, well, he somehow forgot to tell us that. We heard it from Karen.
It's just...
What?
Well, Joe seems absolutely convinced that a bone marrow transplant right now is the only way to save Neil's life.
Please, don't start second-guessing yourself. Give the xylostine a chance to work. Let's get Neil into remission, and then we'll do the transplant.
God, Joe, what have you done?
What nobody else had the guts to do, Karen.
You did the transplant?
Please don't come in here. Neil's in reverse isolation and HEPA filters were installed. If you want to guarantee...
I need to speak to you in the hallway as soon as you're done.
I'll be there.
What the hell were you doing?
I was saving Neil's life.
On whose authority?
My own, Karen.
Without the permission of the parents or even consulting Neil's oncologist?
Well, there wasn't time for indecision.
You were specifically ordered off of Neil's case by the chief of staff.
Karen, you and I both know this was Neil's only real chance here.
No, I don't know that. And neither does anybody else on his team.
Then they ought to do their homework.
Have you even thought about what happens next? You'll be lucky if you don't lose your license. You put a patient in serious danger.
Karen, listen to me. He's dying. How much worse could the danger be?
The xylostine was starting to work.
No, not enough. Not fast enough. I took him off it.
As weak as he was, you put a foreign substance into his body?
Yes, I did. The marrow is a near-perfect match.
But it's not his marrow. If he were in remission, the transplant might have stood a chance. But now his entire system could go into a complete collapse.
Okay, that's your opinion.
Being a doctor is about opinions. But first, you get an expert's advice. You're not an expert, Joe. You're a resident. And by definition, that means you don't make life or death decisions on your own.
Karen, I did the best thing I could do, and that is what being a doctor is all about.
And the oath we took? First, do no harm. You did harm, Joe. You endangered Neil's life. You violated the trust of his parents. And you thumbed your nose at your colleagues.
I will explain why I took this step to everyone involved, especially Frank and Courtney. I take full responsibility for my actions.
Oh, responsibility won't mean a lot if Neil dies.
Well, sure, I can squeeze in another appointment today. How about 10? Okay, great. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Julie, I looked for you in your office. Isn't it time for our appointment?
On the dot. Why don't you go ahead and make yourself comfortable? I'll be there in a minute. What is it?
Well, seeing you in action so busy like this, it makes me realize that I'm not your only patient.
I could have 100 patients. But you're very important to me.
Well, that's nice to hear. Hey, Alan.
Hey.
Congratulations on your reinstatement.
Oh, thank you.
Although, I don't know, now that you're the chief of staff again, should I refer to you as Dr. Quartermain?
Only if you want to tick me off. Wasn't that Julie Devlin I saw you speaking with?
Yes, only now it's Julie Devlin Ramsey.
Yes, I heard they got married. So, in your opinion, is that marriage made in heaven or the other place?
So you don't approve?
No, Ramsey can do whatever he wants. But I'm not sure I approve of Mrs. Devlin Ramsey roaming around the halls of this hospital.
Well, Dr. Devlin Ramsey is still a patient of mine. And we do have sessions regularly.
Just keep her away from the scalpels, all right?
You know, why don't you give her the benefit of the doubt?
Because I'm not sure she deserves it.
She went through hell, and she survived. You know, she needs to be rejoined with the community to feel as though she can make a worthwhile contribution.
And you're going to help her. Well, I think you've got your work cut out for you.
I've got a few ideas that might change your mind.
I hope he's not asleep.
No, I just want to see his face.
Hold on, guys.
What's up?
You need to suit up if you want to see him.
Why?
I did the bone marrow transplant.
You did what?
My God, Joe, you had no right to do anything to
It was
him.
going downhill
He
so
has been
fast.
getting stronger.
Not strong enough, Frank.
So you decided to play God?
What were you doing when you decided to withhold the transplant?
We listened to his doctors. His real doctors, not some cowboy who's so crazy he got thrown off the case.
Okay, maybe I have a right to be angry.
Maybe?
Yes, but I did weigh all the risks.
You still took a chance we didn't want you to. Can't you get it through your arrogant skull? We decided to wait.
Waiting would have killed him. I know it would have, Courtney.
All along, I trusted you. Even at times when I knew you were so close to him that your judgment might be off. But we had a deal, Joe. You always consulted with me and made me part of every decision. So I really don't understand how you could go off and you could do this all by yourself. Do you really have that much contempt for me?
Of course not.
What you've done is unforgivable.
Wait, where are you going?
To see my son.
You can get changed and scrubbed down the hall. HEPA filters make it so you don't need surgical masks. Aren't you going to join her?
You and I are not done yet. Hold on. You are not walking away after what you've done.
What I did was give Neil a chance. I'm sorry if that bothers you,
Oh,
Frank.
no way are you going to make this about me.
Isn't that why you're mad? Because you don't want to owe me?
I don't want to lose my kid.
Well, someone had to take action,
Someone
Frank.
had. A whole lot of people. The chief of staff, the chief resident, the oncology team. They've all been fighting just as hard as you and me
They
to
were
save
just
Neil.
sitting around
Like
doing
hell.
nothing.
They were waiting to see if this new drug treatment made Neil any stronger.
Exactly. They were waiting.
They were showing a courage that you don't have.
You're right, Frank. You're right, Frank. I don't have the courage to sit around and watch Neil die. Why did I break the rules? Huh? So we wouldn't lose him.
You have already lost him. He is not your son.
You think I love him any less just because you're his father?
You love him, but you could be killing him.
I had to do something because everyone around him, including his parents,
No. His parents decided to go a way that wasn't your way. And you couldn't stand that, could you? Not getting the final word.
Frank, you think I did the transplant to spite you?
Well, spite me? But punish me? Whatever. Take your pick.
I did it because I love him.
You are too full of yourself to love anyone. Don't you ever go near my kid again.
Dr. Wexler, I hope to God it isn't true. Did Dr. Scanland just perform a bone marrow transplant on Neil Kanellos?
Yes.
Is he out of his mind? Who gave him the right to make this decision?
Clearly, he was wrong, and I wouldn't know how to defend the choice he made, but he just let his emotions get in the way of his judgment.
What about you? You're the chief resident. Why did you stop him?
I tried, but he felt like he was on the sidelines.
Which is where he belongs if he can't accept the fact that the doctors in this hospital work as a team.
I think he was afraid the team wasn't doing enough to save Neil's life.
So he performs an unauthorized procedure against my explicit orders and without the consent of the mother and father?
Look, I don't condone what happened.
Oh, good. Joe has always been a rebel, and I've tolerated it, but this time he's gone too far.
So what happens next?
Well, he hasn't given me much choice. We're going to have to deal with this now.
You're going to take this up with the hospital board?
No, we are. You're the chief resident. Do you have a problem with that?
No, sir.
Well, I'm glad to see you're in such good spirits. I thought you'd be upset.
About what?
Well, didn't they collect Christina's bone marrow?
It was out of my control.
Why?
Well, what could I have said? I'm that little girl's mother and nobody touches her?
Couldn't your husband have stopped the procedure?
He wanted Christina to be a donor.
He did. You didn't. So why did he win?
Rachel, it wasn't a contest.
Yes, it was. And you gave in like you always do. You didn't mind the fact that the doctors were taking very long, very sharp needles and sticking them into your little girl's hip.
Of course I minded. I hated the thought of it. And it wasn't just the pain involved. They had to give Christina anesthesia, which is dangerous.
So to save Neil Kanellos' life, people were willing to put your daughters at risk.
I'm afraid I have to agree with Chris. That is a pretty ugly way of looking at it.
You never once thought of that? I sure would have. I mean, why is Neil's life more important than Christina's?
Chris said that wasn't how it balanced
You never
out.
forget about what Chris said. You always have someone to hide behind, Julie, every time I ask you how you feel about you. Oh, Chris said this, or Joe Scanland said that. Maybe it's my neighbor's plumber who said
You
something.
were blowing this way out of proportion.
Uh-huh, okay. So you do have some opinions.
Of course I do.
Then why don't you express them? To Chris, to me, to anyone that tries to take over your life.
Beats me, Rachel. Why don't I?
Because you're afraid. You're afraid to get back the control that you lost a long time ago. And until you get over that fear, you may as well be back in Ferncliff locked up.
The truth is out.
Why would you want to speak to my wife? Because she's pregnant with my child.
And it will change people's lives.
You don't belong here. You never really did.
I'm not leaving without Michael.
It's best that this child never knows you.
You get in my way, you're going to be looking at more trouble than you can handle.
General Hospital, ABC Daytime.
So you recognize the pattern, don't you?
What pattern? You have allowed yourself to be dominated by other people your entire life. Strong individuals like your father, Greg Cooper, Chris.
Even you?
Yes. I think that if I wanted to, you would allow that to happen. What I don't understand is why you need anybody to make choices for you.
I don't. I mean, sure, I envy people who can walk around freely, in charge of their lives.
Then take charge of yours.
That's what I am trying to do.
Well, then go and get it. Or are you not sure of what you want?
Of course I know what I want.
Then tell me, Julie.
What, so you can laugh in my face?
Maybe I will.
Do you have any clue at all what it's like to be me? In this town, in this moment, I can't even cross the street without people moving out of the way, whispering, staring.
And you'd like that to stop?
Oh, yeah. But I'd like a whole lot more than that. I want those people to know and respect how proud I am to be Chris Ramsey's wife. And how I want to be a doctor again so that I can do something I'm good at. I want those people to say about me, she has an amazing ability to heal. But most importantly, I want them to know that I can be a good mother because more than anything else in this world, I want Christina back.
It sounds like a beautiful dream. But how do you plan to make it a reality?
Well, you told me yourself I have to wait until things cool off.
Well, that doesn't mean crawling under a rock in the meantime.
That's not what I'm doing, Rachel.
Oh, isn't it? Well, it certainly is what the good folk of Port Charles would like you to do.
Well, I don't care what they want. It's time I take my life back, whether they like it or not.
I should have let him have it.
What?
Chili cheese dog with onions. That's what Neil wanted the night before his chemo.
And you said no?
Yeah, I told him it'd just make him feel sicker the next day. Plain pasta, grilled cheese, that'd be much safer.
Yeah, you were probably right.
Neil knew I was, but he didn't care. He still wanted the chili cheese dog.
Come on, you were just trying to do what was best for him.
And that's what Joe says he was trying to do.
It wasn't his call.
But what if he was right,
What if
Frank?
he wasn't?
I should have let him have it.
Hey, champ. How you doing? Got the latest sports day for you.
Thanks.
Yeah, before you know it, spring training will be here, huh?
Maybe I could watch the Yankees practice this year.
Well, you will if I have anything to say about it.
Because you're gonna make me better. Right, Joe? Just like you always do.
That's the plan, yes.
Just making sure.
Hey, come on, you know I'd never let you down. Never.
Yeah. Even if you aren't my dad anymore.
Joe.
Expect you want to see me about Neil, sir.
You have made a grave error in judgment.
I know it may look that way, but I'm not apologizing for what I did.
You think that's what I want from you as an apology? You ignored my direct order. You ignored every precaution that a doctor should take, and in so doing, you may have compromised your patient's life.
Neil barely has the life as it is, and what little he does have is fading fast. What would you have me do, sit around until he's pronounced?
You know, when my wife was diagnosed with cancer, I felt exactly the same way as you do. I said to myself, hey, Alan, you're a doctor. You should be able to fix this.
So what did you do?
I let other doctors take over because my desire for a quick fix was a threat to her recovery. And for the same reason, I had to remove you from Neil's case.
I couldn't just walk away and give up on him.
Nobody asked you to give up. I asked you to step aside. And what did you do? You proceed in the most underhanded, unethical manner. And in so doing, you jeopardize your patient's life. God, Joe, you may have killed him.
Go, come on, I saved him.
Wow. You have all the answers. What a heavy burden that is. We mere mortals only dream about that.
I can't just stand around doing nothing. I can't.
And now it's going to take a heroic effort on part of the entire team to control the effects of what you did here today.
Dr. Courtney, I love that kid. I have since the moment I met him. And when he became sick, I was proud to be in a position that I could help him. But I was afraid. Every moment of every day that I wasn't a good enough doctor to give him back his life. And we've tried every conventional therapy there is in the book. And some that aren't. None of them were working. The last couple of days, I've been watching him slip away. And I've seen something nobody else has. After putting up the fight of his life, he is giving up hope. No, I just can't watch that. I can't let that happen, regardless of the consequences to me.
I can vouch for the fact that Joe spent every hour he's not on call researching Neil's case.
I'm sure he has. Doesn't make you an expert. We have specialists in treating cancer, and they will tell you there are no absolutes, and that's what makes them experts. You should have listened to them, Joe. Instead, you jeopardize your patient's life, and you threaten the integrity of this entire hospital. I have no choice but to suspend you effective immediately.
I understand.
Your privileges are revoked, pending a hospital review board. I better not catch you anywhere near the ICU.
Karen, I'm sorry to interrupt, but you need to see this.
What is it?
Neil's febrile and diaphoretic.
What's his temp?
100.3.
You tell Pacelli to get over to my office right now. You get the hell out of here.
Hey, slow down. What's the matter?
Your other son, you know, the amazing Dr. Scanland, he decided to do a bone marrow transplant on Neil without anyone's permission.
Oh, my God.
You're not serious.
Yeah, he decided to play God, do whatever he wanted, and now Neil...
And what about Neil?
He's worse than ever.
Well, is he awake?
No, they have him in an isolation tent. He has a fever.
Do they know what's causing it?
No, they run some tests, and chest x-rays. We're waiting to hear the results.
Yeah, but you know, a fever could mean a lot of things. Please try not to panic.
Why would Joe do such a thing?
Because he's Joe Scanlan. He didn't like the choice Courtney and I made, so he made his own.
No, maybe he misunderstood you. Maybe he thought you wanted him to
He
go.
knew damn well we didn't, so stop defending him.
Oh, you know what? Joe's done a lot of crazy things, but I can't believe he'd do something like this.
Well, he did. Because he is nothing but a self-centered bastard.
Frank!
Don't expect me to apologize for that, Mom, because he is lucky that I don't kill him for what he's done.
What's going to happen to Joe? Surely the hospital's going to have to take some action.
They already have. They suspended him. And I told him never to go near my son again.
Is there any change? Fever's up. It's 101. His metabolism is adjusting to the foreign bone marrow.
Well, does that mean the fever's normal?
Yes, but I won't lie to you. It concerns me that it's so high.
So what are you going to do about it?
Well, we have to wait for the test results to come back. If it is an infection, I'll put him on an antibiotic.
And that will get rid of it, right?
Hopefully.
Joe, what do you think you're doing?
Well, I'm checking on Neil.
Are you nuts? How many times do you have to hear it? Stay away from him.
Look, Courtney, I know you're upset that I went ahead with the transplant, but I had to. It was the only way to save him.
Oh, is that what they teach you in medical school? Screw what the parents want and do whatever the hell you feel like.
He was dying.
He still is, Joe.
He has a fever. And I promise you, that's perfectly normal.
Nothing in that room is normal. My little boy wasn't in a tent burning up with fever until you decided that your way is the best way.
I just want to check to see if...
I don't want you near my son, Joe.
He was my son up until a couple weeks ago, or have you forgotten that?
Don't you dare turn this around on me. I trusted you.
And I trusted you, Courtney. I just want to see how he is.
You're through having the privilege of knowing anything about Neil's case.
If there's a problem with
Look, Joe, you are the problem. But that has been taken care of.
You're only hurting Neil by shutting me out.
You are the one who hurt Neil. And I won't let that happen ever again. His doctors are handling this now. No, you're not. Not anymore.
Hey, what is going on out here?
I'd like to know how Neil is doing
I don't
with...
want him to know anything, Karen.
Look, you can be as mad as you want. Hate my guts, but don't shut me out, please, for Neil's sake.
For Neil's sake, go to hell.
I don't care what you guys say. I'm going in there.
Joe, haven't you broken enough rules for one day?
Are you chief resident now?
I always am. But you know I'm a lot more to you. That's why I'm telling you to back off, because you're just making things worse.
Is that really the reason, or are you just afraid to go against Dr. Quartermain?
I know better, and you should too. Joe!
Leave. You can't keep me away from Neil.
Watch me.
Frank, get off your power trip. This isn't about you.
No, it's about you and your ego. Always thinking that you know what's best for Neil.
I do know what's best for him.
You had no right.
I'm his doctor.
I'm his dad.
You are his dad now, but I've been his dad for a year. I'm the one he counted on. He was my kid.
Well, you let him down.
I did not let him down. I don't think so. He looked at me right in the eyes. And he said, Dad, save me. And that's what I tried to do.
If you loved him, then you've got to go. Frank says Neil has a fever.
Medium grade.
Infection?
It's possible.
If it is, can we fight it?
That would be difficult.
But we're not even sure he has an infection.
With all the precautions you've taken, surely there's very little chance that it could be.
Unfortunately, because his initial hematopoietic recovery was so low, he might not be able to make the new blood cells needed to combat the infection.
Could the experimental meds have anything to do with it?
He was taken off the meds early, so we don't know yet how or if they'll affect the transplant.
Why don't you just say it, Karen? Joe did this to Neil.
Dr. Moraga, I see you. Dr. Randy Moraga, I see you.
Whoa, man.
Sorry.
Coffee goes in the mouth, not in the lap, okay? So you want to talk about it?
Nope.
Well, come on, Joe. It's all over the hospital.
Good news travels fast, doesn't it?
It's a pretty dreary world. Performing a procedure without the parents' consent qualifies as good news.
Well, Matt, if it makes you feel any better, Alan has suspended me, and I've been banned from seeing Neil by my friends and family.
Well, what did you expect? A promotion? A party?
The kid needed the transplant.
Yeah, well, that's your call. The doctors, Frank and Courtney, I mean, none of them wanted to do it.
Well, they were wrong.
And you were right.
Yes, I was right.
Geez, you know, I thought only old movies were black and white.
Matt, please spare me the shades of gray garbage, would you?
Well, how about the it wasn't up to you garbage?
Why the hell are you riding me right now?
Because you're my friend, and I'm pissed at you.
Yeah, well, get in line.
You know, Joe, what were you thinking?
I don't know. I was thinking maybe I was a doctor and I was trying to save a kid's life. I mean, I've been on the case for 2 years. I think I know what's best for him.
Give me a break. Karen's been treating him as long as you have, and she would have never gone for that transplant.
Please don't talk to me about Karen, okay? She's so busy being chief resident, she's totally forgotten what it means to be a doctor.
Oh, and because nobody agreed with you, you just went ahead with your plan.
Man, he was dying. Now, you can judge me all you want, but if I had to do it again, I would do the same thing.
Saturday morning was come, and all the summer world was bright and fresh and brimming with life. There was a song in every heart, and if the heart was young, the music issued at the lips. I'll read to you later, okay, honey?
Tom Sawyer. Yeah. That was Joe's favorite, too. I must have read it 100 times to him when he was a little boy.
You must really hate me. First, I hide the truth about Frank being Neil's father from Joe, and now I'm keeping Joe away from Neil altogether.
I don't understand why you lied. But keeping Joe away, I do understand.
But he's your son.
And Neil is your son. I hate to see either one of them in pain. Courtney, if there's anything I can do for you.
Well, I'd like to be able to hold him, you know? And give him hugs and kisses. How can he get stronger without hugs and kisses from his mom?
He knows you're here.
I'm afraid what he'll see in my face when he wakes up.
He'll see his mother. The woman who loves him. The woman who's there for him no matter what.
How about a sandwich or a cup of coffee?
Dr. Russo to labor and delivery. Dr. Robert Russo to labor and delivery.
I could only trade places with him.
Every father's had that thought.
You know, I see other kids, you know, healthy kids running around, playing ball, going to movies. I wonder if their parents really know how lucky they are.
Frank, you've got to eat something. Now, let me bring you anything, a cup of soup or maybe a hamburger, you name it.
You know, maybe a cup of coffee would be good.
Good. I'll call Kevin, too. He'll want to know about Neil.
Yeah. Thanks, Victor.
Yeah. 2715 East. Dr. Roland Rodriguez, 2715 East.
Hey, Mom. You and Courtney were talking.
I'm a mother. If you or your brother were lying in that bed, I would hope there'd be people there for me, too.
How could he do it, Mom? My own brother.
Part of me is as angry and shocked as you are. But the other part is worried about a son that might have just thrown his career away.
Well, I'm sorry if I can't sympathize, but he doesn't deserve to be a doctor.
Frank, what's done is done. Now we all have to just pray that what he did turns out to be the right thing.
Well, he took a major gamble with my son's life. It better pay off.
I was wondering when I was going to see those beautiful eyes again.
What's going on?
Shh. It's okay. I know it's really scary, but you need to stay inside this thing.
What is it?
It's called an isolation tent.
Why am I in it? Mom, what happened?
You had a bone marrow transplant.
I did?
Uh-huh. So you just have to stay inside this silly tent so you don't get any germs or anything, all right?
You said this would make me better.
Yeah, that's what we're praying for, honey.
I feel really bad.
Well, your body, it's adjusting to all the new marrow. You know, Karen and Dr. Pacelli, they'll be able to explain it to you a whole lot better.
Where's Joe? He always has the answers.
I don't know where Joe is.
I really want to see him. Can you find him?
I'll try. But hey, I'd really like to sit here with you for a while, if that's okay.
Must have been strange waking up and everything looking different, huh?
Yeah?
It kind of reminds me of that fort you built at home, remember?
I guess it does a little. Do you know where Joe is?
I'm sorry, kid, I don't know.
I really want to talk to him.
Hey, Karen.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, how's Neil doing?
Febrile?
Really? How high?
101.3. Possible superimposed infection.
Huh. Did the lab test come back?
No, not yet.
Really? All right, listen. I got a friend at NYU. He's a transplant specialist. I want you to give him a call.
212
Okay.
East.
All right?
Nurse Linda Goddard.
There you go.
Thank you.
Okay. I'll talk to you later.
Matt,
Yeah.
wait
What?
a sec.
What's up?
I can't believe I'm going to tell you this.
What? Spit it out.
If you see Joe, don't tell him about Neil's condition. Courtney and Frank don't want him having any information.
Okay. Hey, listen, Karen, you know, Joe did this to himself.
You know, I could just strangle him. He's acting like a complete jerk.
Well, he's not ready to take responsibility.
Well, you'd think with Neil so sick, he'd have a moment of regret, doubt, something.
Yeah, you know, one moment like that, he's gonna fall apart.
Oh, so instead it's, I'm right and to hell with the rest of you.
Does sound like the Joe we all know and love.
He's gone too far this time, Matt.
Mm.
He's totally compromised his career, not to mention putting the hospital at risk. And you know what the worst part is?
What?
He's alienated himself from the people who would have supported him.
Don't tell me. You tell him. He's in the on-call room. See you.
Dr. Curtis, 5517. Dr. Fritz Curtis, 5517.
One last chance
Ryan?
to stop the woman he loves.
There's nobody else out there that can love you the way I can.
From marrying another man.
Do you, Jillian, take this man, Jake?
All My Children, ABC Daytime.
Oh, you're gonna kick me out?
What are you doing?
Research is still allowed, isn't it?
Joe, don't.
What?
Attack me. I didn't do this.
Kate's history is on bone marrow transplants. Experimental meds shouldn't affect anything.
It's too late, Joe. Nobody wants your help.
Neil does.
Don't you get it? You've been kicked out. Until the board makes a decision about your actions, you're done here.
Karen, I'm doing research, not performing surgery.
What do I have to do to get through to you? You may lose your medical license. Don't you care?
Medical license? I care more about saving Neil than I do my medical license.
Well, now you've taken that away from him. The person he trusted and needed most.
Well, they shouldn't have suspended me then.
Oh, so now it's everybody else's fault. Maybe you should have gotten a slap on the wrist. Maybe writing, "I will not perform procedures without the parents' consent" 100 times on the blackboard.
You know, all this is just gonna hurt Neil.
Why don't you take some responsibility? You know, nobody wants you around. Not Alan or Courtney or Frank. I don't even think your own mother wants you to be here.
What about you?
I think you should go. You're making it hard on the family.
I am the family.
You're not Neil's father, and you shouldn't have done what you did.
Karen, you want me to apologize for what I did? I won't.
Well, then you made your own choice.
Okay, got it. I'll clean out my locker.
Frank. He asked for Joe again right before he dozed off.
Well, he wouldn't if he knew it's because of Joe he's stuck in that tent.
Neil never wants anything, and now the one thing that he's asking for, we won't give him. How long can we keep lying to him and telling him we don't know where Joe is?
As long as it takes.
He's smart, Frank. He'll figure it out.
And when he does, we'll have an answer for him. But I am not letting Joe back in there. Absolutely no way.
Take this.
Is that Neil? Never mind. I'm pretty much done here anyway.
Joe, I don't know what to say.
I think we've both said enough.